So. Stanley Parable. Versuch Nummer 2. Wir gucken mal, was jetzt rauskommt. Hoffentlich sterben wir nicht. Aber ich habe das im... verdammt, bin ich nur gestorben, weil ich dem die Anweisung nicht befolgt habe?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So, das ist jetzt der Dünne. Also eigentlich war das jetzt für mich schon erledigt. Ich bin gestorben, weil ich dem seine Anweisung nicht befolgt habe.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Nö.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes.
Hier waren wir alles schon gähnend.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
So mache ich das jetzt, oder? Ich könnte natürlich auch mal gucken, was da oben war. Oder gewesen wäre. Ich mach das mal.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten
Jetzt
off on
warten wir
the
einfach
wrong
mal ab.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She's been waiting. Wer ist denn she? Ach, jetzt ist der schon wieder so. Aha.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Voll Matrix. Und seit wann braucht eigentlich so ein altes Telefon eine Steckdose? Hallo? Hallo, hallo?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Der Arsch. Das ist mein bedauerliches Leben.
This is a very
ja.
sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Guten Morgen, Angestellter. Drücke Z auf deiner Tastatur. Nö, ja, ich mach mal.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Sein Arsch, ey. Ja, ja, komm, ich drücke jetzt hier nicht P. Du kannst mich. Nö, da warte ich lieber. Stelle ich mich neben meine Hübsche und warte. Ich frage mich, wie lange ich warten muss. Ja, drücke P. Ich will nicht P drücken. Drück mal O, L, U. Nee, ist nicht. Ich will es nicht drücken. Sei doch nicht so ein Arsch. Ich drücke meinetwegen. Nee, ich will nicht. Ja gut, jetzt hast du mich soweit. Oder ich. Oh. Na gut, P. Jetzt, ja, nee, doch nicht. Ja, okay.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Knack. Ich drücke
But in
K.
his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Drücke R, um Fernsehen. Ja, wo ist denn der Fernseher da?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The
Das stimmt allerdings. Hier stand erst was anderes. Eine Couch, glaub. Drücke H, um Zeit mit den Kindern zu verbringen. Ich habe nicht mehr Kinder. Verändert sich da bestimmt wieder was.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
F und Dame Essen vorzubereiten, ja.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Geil, meine Kindern eine Geschichte zu erzählen. Ja, was wird denn jetzt verschwinden? Vielleicht das schöne Bild?
It was such a wonderful fantasy. And so in his head, he relived it again. And then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Ja, gib halt nochmal was, um mit deiner Frau zu sagen, dass du sie liebst.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Drücke 8, um schlafen zu gehen.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Ja, der hat gesagt, ich soll es nicht tun. Ich tue es trotzdem. Nee, ich will nicht.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Drücke 7, um nichts in Frage zu
I
stellen.
can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley
Bitte
pushed a
stirb.
button.
Das ist doch...
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Bin ich schon wieder tot? Fragezeichen. Wow. Und das war der zweite Versuch. Haichi Mombaichi.